So I decided to do a video to show you how easy it is to swap the battery into these mini trucks. This is a 1996 Honda Acty four-wheel drive mini truck, and this is the battery that comes in it. It's held in place with this hold down here. It's got two bolts that hold it in place, and those bolts are J hooks, and they actually come through to here, and I'll show you that as I take it apart. And then there's the terminals. Now all those bolts are nuts are 10 millimeter, and these are the tools. These are the things you're going to need here. You're going to need one lawnmower battery. I got this at Costco, and it's an interstate battery, and I think it was $32. And then for tools, you're going to need a ratchet, an extension, maybe not an extension with this particular one, and a 10 millimeter. I use a deep well. A couple of metal brushes and battery cleaning tools to clean up those terminals, and then a couple of pairs of pliers, and I'll show you how that's going to go. It's going to be a little difficult for me to do this while holding the camera in one hand and doing everything else with the other hand, but let's see what we can do. So you start by loosening these up. Should just be able to get the J hook out of that hole, and you can see how they just hang in the hole. Now, Honda's nice enough to put a lower hole and an upper hole. I don't know if you can see that, but there's the upper hole, and that's what it was attached to, and then there's a lower hole, and that'll make up for the height difference on the battery. So then next what you want to do is you want to loosen up these nuts that hold your battery terminals to your battery. And it's just a matter of twisting them off and getting the battery out of the way. Well, this one's got a bunch of crud down here. Looks like some dirt and debris. I'll just sweep it out of the way. And then these are what the standard terminals look like. And you're going to keep those. You don't have to modify them. What you want to do though is remove these bolts completely from these terminals. And don't lose them, because we're going to reuse those too. As I drop one. There we go. So that's one. A little bit tight from the dirt on them, but they're coming off okay. And that's it. There's a second set. Now what you want to do is, if you look at the terminals on this new battery, you'll see that they have a hole through them, and they're a little bit wider. So we're going to need to open up this gap here, and also on the positive one. Oops, there we go. Open up that gap too. So first things first, want to clean up those terminals. I'm going to just clean these up a little bit using I guess I'll just use one of these ends on this battery terminal cleaner. So I'm going to set this down for a second. Sorry, it's going to go black for a minute while I clean these up real fast. Let me kind of show you what I'm doing here. You just stick it in there and you just twist. Two hands is much better, but you just want to get the corrosion out of the inside so that it's making a good contact. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up and I'll come right back to you. I'll talk to you while I'm doing this. Alright, so you also have to clean in between where the bolts are going to hold on to make sure that everything's clean. So the next thing I'm going to do is spread apart this terminal a little bit, and I'm going to do that using 2 pairs of pliers. See how I can do this and still record for you. Basically, you just grab one side with 1 pair of pliers. I'm going to set it down again. Shame I don't have a tripod or something. But I just grabbed the other side with the other pair of pliers, and now it's open like this instead of closed like that. I'm going to go ahead and use a brush and clean. I'm going to use a brush and clean inside the between those terminals, and I'm going to open up the other one. Be right back. So I went ahead and opened up the other one too. Now I just need to clean them up. And just take that brush and get some of the debris out of there and any corrosion that might have built up. Okay, so they're all cleaned up, they're spread apart, they're ready to go. This Honda had this plastic battery tray at the bottom. It's actually a perfect fit for the new battery. The new battery is almost exactly the same size, it's just not quite as tall. So we got the positive terminal on this side and the negative terminal on this side. Ahead and push that back in place, so you can see fits in there real nice. There's a lot of room on top of it to work now to get your terminals hooked up. So what you want to do is just basically show you that again. I've gone ahead and cleaned up the terminals on the battery too to remove the coating that came on them, but you just basically want to line that up like that. Take your bolt, shove it through the hole, and then you're going to put your nut on the back side. Guess I should have done that the other way to make it easier to get access to that nut. Again, you probably won't be doing this one-handed, but there we go. So I'll put the nut on this side. And get your ratchet on there. And get it down tight like that. You can still retain the original positive battery cover if yours is in good shape. There you go. And I'm going to do the same thing for this other side here. If you didn't spread it enough, you'll have to widen it up a little bit, which is what I'm going to have to do on this one. They're pretty soft metal. You can almost just bend it with your fingers. And there we go. And then just take that bolt and put it in from the back side. Looks like I need two hands for this one. Hang on one second. Tried to show you how easy this is, and this one fighting me a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I got the bolt through. Go ahead and put the nut on. Get your ratchet. Just tighten them down. All right, that takes care of that. Now, all you have to do, just make sure this battery is somewhat centered in its location. Gonna take our battery hold down bracket, and instead of going for the upper hole, now I'm gonna go for the lower hole. Hook it in there like so. And then over here, we get it in the lower hole. One more time, got to set the phone down. 1 second. Okay, now that's in there and that's in there, and you just might have to loosen up the bolts a little bit to get it in position. Loosen up this one a little bit. Let's see if we can bring that up. There we go. And now it's up in place. Now all we have to do is tighten them down. Tight. That one's tight. And that battery is secure. So there you go. And that's how easy it is. And you can replace a factory Japanese style battery into your Minitruck. I've found that the Subarus also have the upper and lower holes. So at least on the Hondas and the Subarus, this is pretty much bolt-in installation. You might find on the other trucks, the Suzukis and the Mitsubishis and the Daihatsus, that you might have to modify the mounting bracket or the holes, but it's pretty easy. I see it's taken me a little over 15 minutes to do this with one hand while recording for you. Could probably do it in 5 minutes if I wasn't trying to record. So there you go. Hope it helps, and keep on mini trucking.